Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I am building a garden Tudor home. If you're interested in this build, you can download it off the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. This is kind of a special build because it's heavily features CC, which is unusual for me. I know pretty recently I did use CC, but guys, this is a new revelation for me. But I'm using CC from the Cottage Garden stuff pack made by the Plumbob Tea Society. It is a group of custom content creators who come together to make a stuff pack's worth of stuff. So descriptive. You know, just of a general theme. And so they've made some before, like they had space was one of them. They did a toddler themed one, and now they've gone with the garden theme. And I don't usually do CC because I personally don't find it very easy for me to use, and I worry about, you know, maybe it's not working in my game and stuff like that. But this stuff was just way too cute to pass up on. Oh my gosh, I just had to use it, and it's going around. This is super popular right now, so I am on trend. No. But I've seen quite a few people use it. The first person I saw was CC Sims use it, and I just knew I had to use it once I saw her build, because this stuff is way too cute. And it's all functional, and most of it I would say is Maxis Match. There are a couple of objects that are a little alpha, which if you don't know what that means, Maxis Match is custom content that's designed to look like it was made by Maxis, so it really fits in with the current aesthetic of the game. And then Alpha CC is custom content that looks more realistic, because The Sims 4 is quite cartoony. But anyways, I figured I'd throw that one out there. I'd explain that one just because you might not know that if you're more into the build videos, because the whole like alpha versus Maxis Match is kind of more of a create a sim thing. I'm kind of not. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking because about that. We have a lot of time for me to talk. This video is so long. This build took me over 8 hours. It just turned into a monster. And I just was having so much fun using all the CC. I used almost every single piece of CC at least once. There were a couple, like, there's like some, like, I guess wisteria, it's a type of plant, like viney things that I didn't end up using because they just didn't really fit with what I wanted to go with. But other than that, I used pretty much everything, and it's all cute and it's all functional. And just one of the really cool things about this custom content is, in my opinion, the Maxis Match aspect, because I'm a Maxis Match girl all the way. I really like what they've done is quite ingenious. They've taken textures and patterns and colors like that are already in the game, and they use a lot of those. Like this is a garden themed pack, and so like they have this really cool sink workbench thing, and it has some herbs hanging on it, and they just use the texture of the herbs in game that we already have, or herbs. Depending on how you pronounce it. I always thought that was so funny. I pronounce it herbs, silent H. Doesn't make any sense, but that's how I pronounce it. But yeah, and like they have these really cool planter boxes that some of the sides, they have like 4 of them, I think, a singular one, and then 3 of them, one with 3 sides, one with 2, and one with 2 sides as well, but on different sides. Okay, sorry. I was trying to figure out how they fit together. I had a brain fart moment. It is a Friday. I'm tired. I had a long week. Work has finally gotten a little bit easier though, guys. Finally. Thank goodness. I'm no longer doing 1.5 person's jobs. I am doing just my job. It is very nice. But I also volunteered yesterday, and that just that was a lot of work. But anyways, but yeah, you guys will see more of the custom content. Right now, I am literally just building the house, and this is where I set myself up for 8 hours because this house is pretty big. This lot is also pretty big as well. Like, honestly, I've been wanting to build a cute little Tudor home. There's actually quite a few of them in Seattle that I've like been looking at for inspiration. And so of course I built a Tudor mansion. But I never know how to go small. I just really don't. But I love how this turned out. I did end up having to cut a lot of things from the build, including entire rooms, but I tried to make sure that all of the CC that I used was featured, so you can see what it looks like in game, because like I will be sure to leave a link in the description down below to where you can get the CC. Yeah, I didn't, it's not just build CC, they also have like create a sim CC, which I decided not to go into because like there was a lot of it and you can download it all at once, and so I just downloaded the build stuff because I was just kind of like, I don't know, I don't do that much create a sim right now anyways. But this roof is custom content, which I love. We need more roof options in the Sims that Maxis gives us, because like it's getting a little boring, to be honest. But this basically the same roof that we already have, but it's like mossy, and that is just so cool. I just love it so much. I made this, so I didn't want that for the entire roof because it's a bit intense to do, so I had it for this little garden shed back here, which ends up being super cute. I loved it so much. But yeah, that roofing to be honest, that's the type of roofing, that mossy stuff, that is like hardcore Pacific Northwest, because it gets damp and like nobody, like it's really hard to clean a roof, and it's really dangerous to clean a roof, so people don't for really long periods of time usually. So our roofs over here get real mossy real fast. But here there's a wedding art. It's so cute with like little hanging fabric. It's just I can't. That's gonna be this entire video. I apologize in advance, me just fawning over how cute all of this custom content is. But I built this little garden area. There are two different garden areas, one using the planter boxes that came in this stuff pack, and then this other one that I'm working on here, which is just a little bit more au natural, I guess. Here's that wisteria that I didn't end up using. It just like, of everything in the pack, that just wasn't my thing. I didn't quite like the coloring of it, or kind of some of the texture. It just looked a little too cartoony for me. But there are these cute little like sticker, like like little signs, yeah, to like tell you what's planted here. So off camera I planted a lot. Oh, here are those planters I was talking about. But yeah, off camera I planted everything. Also, a special thank you to Nitro Nuclear and Dragon's Heart Blue. I downloaded 2 of their lots, or rooms, where they had collected perfect plants. I didn't necessarily want the plants to be perfect because I thought it would be fun to like grow the plants until they're perfect, but I also couldn't find all the plants in one collection that weren't perfect, so it was either me wait around for the plants to grow and I wanted them to have like fruit and stuff on them, or it was download these rooms and put them in right now, which is what I went with. But the signs, almost all of them match. There weren't quite enough signs, like there were a couple of things that were left out, like what was left out? I think the chamomile, what was it? It wasn't the glow fruit, it was a different tree. It was the forbidden fruit tree. So like a couple of the plants didn't quite make it to the little posty signs, but these flowers are also custom content. Half of them are original, and it's just, oh gosh, I'm talking too fast. Sorry. I just now realized how fast I was talking because I had to take a really deep breath. But like there are these little flowers here that I'm placing, and those actually are taken from the stump, like a tree stump seat thing that we got in an outdoor retreat. And so they just separated the textures, and I thought that was so smart. You just add a couple little more flowers. But here's where you can really start seeing some of this custom content coming into play. There's the cutest, like they're like mason jars, like open mason jars, and you can put flowers in them. It's kind of hard to see because it's clear, but here I'm doing it, and it was just so ingenious. What they did was all of the slots in The Sims are parallel to the ground, so everything lies flat when you place it down. But for these jars, they made it so that the slot was perpendicular, straight up. So when you put a flower down, it stands up. And they did that in the jar. It was so cool. And so how you get the flowers is you go to the buy debug mode, and you like search for like rose or something, and you find whatever flower you want and you put it in there, and then it's there. And oh my, it just blew my mind. It was just when I first saw it, like, because in the thumbnail it shows it with the flowers and stuff in it, I was like, and then I put it down, it was empty. I was like, what is this? Then I read the instructions in the description and I was like, oh, I have work to do. It's not just given to me. But that means greater customization, which honestly, that is something I never realized was the thing with Build CC. Like, I might need to start changing my position. I don't know. Up until like last week, 2 weeks ago, I had pretty much been a completely like Build CC free like building channel, but I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think down below. I would like to know, because like I might start going some hardcore CC route. I don't know. It seems like a dangerous rabbit hole for me, to be honest. I'm slightly concerned. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. But you can see off to the left here, I built this little pond. If you're interested, I have a whole bunch of other videos where I've done this exact same thing, so I decided not to show it. There is like a little fountain CC thing that I added. There's also a little hanging bench, which is the cutest thing. It doesn't move, but like honestly, that doesn't really matter to me. Like, I just love that it's there. Another ingenious thing where they took two textures, one of the like arches and one of just a normal bench, and they basically merged them together, added a chain, took away the legs, and bam. So smart. This stove over here is also custom content, like almost everything is. And it also has spaces where you can put stuff on it, and it works. Like, it's gorgeous. Like, just these little things, it's so simple. And like, even these boxes, these have some textures from other objects in The Sims, and it's just, oh my gosh, I could not get over like how awesome this all was. And like this little rack, like this little, oof, I want, like, the thing is with this CC, I want to keep using it. Like, I love it so much, but I do want you guys to enjoy my builds too. And I know that not everybody is into Build CC. For instance, I wasn't. This pack like converted me. Like, like the Plumbob Tea Society, well done. I am like having an existential struggle crisis over whether or not to start using CC in my game. Like, it's like, oh my goodness. I was worried I wouldn't have enough to talk about, you guys, with this, but like, honestly, we're 14 minutes in. This is such a long one, like over 40-minute long. I try to keep my builds short, but man. So here are these little full mason jars full of like preserves and stuff, and I didn't realize this until much later, but they are stackable. What? When I realized that, I honestly died a little inside of happiness. Like, it was just like, what? An object that is stackable. Like, because I'm used to a surface you could put something else on it, you know? I am not used to being able to put an object on top of an object without using the move objects sheet. It was crazy. So I ended up going back and adding them on top. If this build wasn't so long, I would have shown it. But yeah, oh my gosh, it was, And like these, like, look at like the mobility of the surfaces here. Like there's just so many slots to put things on. It's like, instead of a dining table that has like room for 3 1 square objects, these dining tables have room for like 8. And it's just, I can't. It's fantastic. I need to stop raving about it, because like, oh my goodness. But it's all just so cute, and I can't. But I have a fun story to tell. Also, this little entryway that I did, so cute. These rain boots, I'm in love with them in the different patterns. But I have a fun little story to tell you. It just happened today too. So if you watched my last build, you know that I am going to Minnesota soon. Not for very long, just for a grad school interview. But I'm so excited. I've never been to Minnesota before. But I told my coworker, you know, like, because we were talking about it, and I was like, oh, it's going to be snowing. It's snowing today in Minnesota, because I was looking at the weather, and it's not going to be snowing when I'm there. I'm not predicted to. But, and I was talking about when I was flying, you know, flying out, and she turns to me and says, I hope your flight comes back. And I go, what? Like, how morbid is that? Like, oh, I hope you come back alive? But no, she just meant, oh, I hope your flight doesn't get stuck, like, in the snow. And I'm like, there is a different way to say that. Like, I told her, oh, I'm gonna have a fun, you know, little trip. And she's like, oh, I hope you come back alive. I'm just like, oh. Oh my goodness, this is the same. This coworker throws trash at me, actually. I'm not even kidding. She'll take a full trash bag and hit me with it, like, lightheartedly, but I'm also just like, you do realize that you're just hitting me with trash, right? Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, there are days where I'll come home and I'll turn to my boyfriend. I'm like, oh, my coworker didn't hit me with trash today. And I'm all excited. And he's like, you know, that's not something to be excited about. That should just be a thing that she never does. And like just today too, like she had a bag of trash and she was like, I was really tempted to hit you with this. And I'm like, what? Although to be fair, the other day there was like this little lid of a box, and I was like tempted to throw it at her for some reason. I didn't, you know, because don't throw things, guys. But, and I told her that too. So I guess that is kind of fair. We're both extraordinarily odd. Oh, also this table here is a 6-seater table. Yes, we are going to be getting one of those in Pets, I think. Or if not in Pets, I think we're going to be getting it in the laundry stuff pack. But it was so nice because they made an outdoor table, a 6-seater, and they didn't make an indoor equivalent. Just give us one without an umbrella. Like, gosh, guys. Anyway, back to the coworker. I played the best prank on her. So, I took the cap that I mentioned I might throw at her, and her coat was hanging up, and so I just stuck it in the pocket. And it was really great because I told another coworker that I did that, and he just kind of like looked at me like I'm a little crazy. But then apparently he told her that I pranked her, but he wouldn't tell her what. And so she was like, haha, no, she didn't actually prank me. Like, she's not smiling and giggling, you know, because I give myself away so easily, guys. I'm so giggly. But it was the best because I got a text message after I left work, and like it was just a picture of her hand holding the box that she found in her pocket. And then later she told me, she was like, for a second I didn't know where it came from, and I thought I put it there. Which is the best. That is the best you can hope for from a prank, is that the person gets so confused. I guess I have an odd definition of a good prank. But anyways, I love putting these bookshelves here. I wanted to cover up the clipping, which is why that little stuffed animal's there. And I think I did a pretty good job because clipping tends to drive me crazy. But I really just wanted a corner bookshelf, and I feel like these bookshelves are really underutilized because they're not technically bookshelves, I don't think. I think they're just display cases for a bookstore, which I don't really get. Also, I don't know why, but for some reason I thought this train here was just really cute. So I showed me putting it there. But yeah, I don't know, for some reason that train, I just had a lot of fun. But I need to take a breath because I am going way too fast. But this is like in a little office area, and all of the communal spaces are separated by these French doors, which at first I thought I'd do archways, but because I wanted like these rooms to be separated like they are in old houses, but I didn't want them to be too closed off. So at first I had archways, but that creates really weird lighting. So instead of that, I went with the French doors, and I thought that really worked. But so this is a little office that's off of the kitchen/dining room, and I love how it turned out. And I think this is a very kind of kid-friendly house. Like, I think that little fossilized Sim handprint looks like a kid's thing. And you got like a little photo, and we got some flowers, and just so cute. And that book on the table, that is custom content. That is just a book that we got in The Sims 4, or of course it's The Sims 4, goodness gracious, that we got in the Vampire game pack, and they separated it from its little stand it was on and made it flat. And it's just little things like that that are just ingenious, you know? Oh, so cute. But here is the nursery area, and I ended up doing this and then 2 other bedrooms, both of which ended up kind of feminine. I don't know. I probably maybe should have gone with something more gender neutral or more masculine, but this is what you got. This is what I gave you guys. But this is like a little nursery, and I think sorry. I had a revelation. I forgot to put in a toddler's potty. Whoopsie. Yeah. I made sure that there are baths on this floor, and there's even a high chair and a toddler bed, but I totally forgot the bathroom, so you might want to add that. Whoopsie. I'm sorry. And I totally forgot what I was even talking about now too, because I just realized I made a mistake. Whoopsie. But yeah, now I have no idea what I was talking about. Oh my goodness. But I love how this little room turned out. I think it looked really cute. I love this chevron carpet. We got this in the Halloween, and like this swatch of this carpet is just to die for. I love it so much. And so yeah, I love this whole build turned out really well. I think I'm really, really pleased with it. And so like there wasn't a huge amount of furniture, like there weren't any beds or anything or any bath stuff, but yeah, but you can see that bedroom I did off in the corner, and of course there will be a walkthrough. The only really thing that in that bedroom I really wanted to showcase is this really cool mirror, and they made 2 versions of it. They took the arched window that's base game, and they turned it into a mirror resting against the wall, and it's so good. And it comes in 2 sizes, and one of them can go on top of dressers, and the other is a floor mirror, and it's just gorgeous. Like, I don't even know how these guys did this. Like, I guess they took that mirrors that were already slanted, like the one we got in the, ooh, where did we get that from? The one with the lights on it. I forget right now. I think we got it in the Parenthood. Sorry, I'm yawning. That one's tilted, and so I think they probably took whatever, like, vectors or math or whatever magic they do, and they took that and transposed onto the window. I don't know how they do this stuff. I don't. Like, I can kind of guess at it, but I really don't. But yeah, it's just so ingenious. And so I showed this bathroom because it's kind of cute, and I ended up showing this other one that I just really love how it turned out. It's the master bathroom, and it almost made its way into the intro. Which the intro, you guys, I'm so proud of the intro. It was so cute. and you might have recognized a little clip from it of In the Garden. I showcased that as a teaser on my Twitter. This build got so like sneak peeked. I did one of me building just like the first, like once I finished, like what took my first break on the exterior. I did one showing the office, and I did another, did I do another? Forget, I might have. But then I did a little video clip, which I've never done for a build before, but it was a little one, so I thought it'd be cool. But I love how this living room turned out. I had never used this carpet before, and I loved it, but this living room actually took me a really long time because of the whole matching furniture. Like, living rooms are the hardest for me. Like, bathrooms are difficult to make interesting, but for me, living rooms are the hardest to do with the mismatched furniture. I mean, you guys have heard me whine and complain endlessly about it, but I'm bitter. What can I say? But yeah, and so one side I have a whole bunch of just like plants and stuff, and on the other I added the Don't Wake the Llama game, and I thought that was kind of a cute addition. Yeah, thought that was cute. I thought I was being clever. But yeah, so many, I'm just amazed at how great this pack is, like CC pack is, and so many other creators in the community are too. Like, this is making its round, so you're gonna see a lot of it, because it's like honestly almost so professionally done. Like, I can't even, like, all of these art prints, like these nature art prints, like, oh, I think it was Gavin Sims. I think I'm sorry, but he said that this is what the eco stuff pack should have been back when we were voting for stuff packs, and I don't know why they didn't just mark it as a laundry stuff pack, because they're like, oh, it's gonna be an eco laundry stuff pack, which honestly doesn't make that much sense. But anyways, he was like, this is what the eco part should have been, and I agree, this is perfect. But here's this like little terrarium shaped like a little like house, and I really love this object. It's just a little bit verging onto alpha, I think, with the wood texture, and kind of with how delicate it looks, in my opinion. Still love it. But the other thing is, it's with all the plants we have, and even with some of the plants they supplied, it was very hard to fill this thing because plants kept sticking out. And so this is one of the ones where I was just kind of like, I wanted to like absolutely be in love with it so bad, but instead I was just kind of like, it's really cute. Like, I don't know, like on a scale of I'm absolutely over the moon in love with it to like 0, I would put like myself at like a 7, you know, like not a bad grade, but not perfect. But honestly, if this were a Sims made pack, like this would be better than what's in that. But anyways, oh my goodness. But yeah, that's like, I have so few critiques, and you know me, I'm a complainer. That's what I do. It's what I live for. Oh goodness. But yeah, here's the Don't Wake the Llama, and I used the chairs from the CC chairs. The little cushions are so cute, and there are so many swatches, like endless swatches, which is just so fantastic. It's honestly, that's part of why this is such a revelation, is because this showed me like there's so many extra slots to put things on, and so many more textures than we usually get, and also just manipulation of content that has already been created into more creative ways, like breaking stuff up and giving it to us instead of just giving us one whole thing. I think that it adds an astounding amount of creativity, and honestly, I think the Sims team should take a good hard long look at this like stuff pack and take notes. Like seriously, like the Sims team makes amazing content, they make really great stuff, but this is above and beyond. And for people who aren't gonna make really a dime off of this, unless they have AdFly, I think they do, but like we don't have to pay for that, you know, like it's just crazy. Anyways, long rant over, maybe for now. Oh yeah, but this living room turned out so cute and cozy, I can't. And then I think next up is the bathroom that I just really liked. I just thought it looked so elegant. I just keep patting myself on the back, and that doesn't really use hardly any of the Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm like yawny. Doesn't really use any of the like stuff pack, but still cute. Still cute. But I had another story to tell you. Oh, I don't know if I told this story before. Maybe I had, but I thought of it the other day and I was like, this is something you guys would want to hear because this was hilarious. Not at the time. So, like quite a few years ago, like 5 years ago now. Oh God, I'm getting old. I guess it was 4 because I was 20 at the time, I think. No, I was 18. It was that was a long time ago. Anyways, moving on. So basically I was hanging out with a friend's friend group, and so I didn't really know any of them all that well, but it was one of their birthdays and they were celebrating it at a restaurant and I was kind of tagging along. And so here's the preface for this story. In my family, when we blow out the candles, the number of candles you have left on the cake, we joke around and say that is the number of children you're gonna have. Because usually, you know, we like, we'll leave off 1 or 2 candles, or, you know, like if for like when my mom turned 40, we put 40 candles on her cake. We're like, oh my gosh, Mom, you're gonna have so many more kids. You know, it's just like a jokey thing, you know, nothing serious, you know, nothing like, we don't actually think that that's gonna be how many kids you have. And so, but I didn't know that that wasn't a thing that other people do. I thought I thought this was a universal thing. I thought it was, you know, you sing happy birthday, you blow out the candles, and you say how many children you're gonna have, but apparently not. And so this poor woman blows out all of her candles, and I go, yay, you're not having any children. No. Oh no, it was just like the most random thing, and everybody turned and looked at me like, what? And I'm just like, what you blew out all your birthday candles, what? Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't. It was, and I then tried to backtrack and explain, but it was one of those things where like, even after you explain it, everyone's like, what have you done? It was really bad. But this is the master bedroom, and I didn't really like how it turned out. But I thought I'd include it. It's kind of got a dull sort of color scheme, which I kind of partially blame on this bed, because I wanted to use this bed because I haven't before, and I wanted it to be like a color scheme of the bed that suited the rest of the build, and so that was the closest with this bed, but it's kind of weird. And then the curtains, not the best choice. Just, yeah, so I don't really like how this bedroom turned out color scheme wise. I think it'd probably look a lot better if you changed the color scheme. Which I didn't, but it's a really good example of that standing mirror that I was talking about earlier, and I think it's acceptable. But I'm about to put that mirror, yep, there it is. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, gorgeous and ingenious. Like, I can't, and it works, and everything is tilted too, and I can't. I can't. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I tried to make sure there were tons of plants in this build. This build is like riddled with plants and just lots of like, this is a cluttered house. It is real cluttered, which is why it took me so long. And like even the garden shed ends up being like hugely cluttered, and I wish I was really tempted to split this build up into 2 bits, but just with the timing of everything and the whole going to Minnesota and the flight thing, it just didn't really seem feasible. So I just went with a 40-minute build. So I don't know. I've tried in the past to ask people which they prefer, and honestly, it's a really mixed consensus. And when you ask a question, the majority of people who watch the video will not answer you. It's kind of like talking into a void, which is kind of nice too. What did I just say? It's nice to talk into a void sometimes, guys. Oh my gosh. But yeah, and not as like a critique of people. Like I don't answer people's questions. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to watch your video. Gosh. No, sometimes I do, but usually only on other creators who I know. But this little barn door probably belongs somewhere else, but I really just wanted to use it. It's off to the right here, and I used it to semi-cover a door that leads to like an attic space. Also, this cross stitch, I wish I had used every single swatch of this like somewhere in this build, like, because this, like, I've done cross stitch before. Like I have a couple, like I have this really big cross stitch project that I have not finished. It's gigantic. Part of the reason why I haven't finished it is because I was going about it in a very boring way. Like, it came with a key of all the different colors and like the symbols and where to use them. And so I was like, I'm going to be really methodical about this. I'm just going to work one color at a time, work my way down this list of like 80 colors slash color combinations, and then it'll all be done. But that's a really boring way to do it, because I end up like doing half of all of the leaves on the thing, and that looks like nothing. When the other way, I could have just like, you know, did a whole flower, one flower at a time sort of thing. It looks interesting. Anyways, taking a break from that story. Here, these little shelves, they like added like fruit, like little like fruit and vegetables that you can stick, like slot perfectly in these shelves, but I wanted to use them elsewhere, and so I used it to hold toys and stuff. How cute is that? Anyways, here's the little garden shed that we've moved on to. Anyways, cross stitch, I'm nowhere near done with it. It's just, that was the end of the story. I don't really know why I needed to finish that. Anyways, you can see those hanging herbs that I talked about. The same thing with the little spades. Those are also a base game, I think, item. And then there's also a little cacti that came on one of the chemistry benches. And I think that little basket beneath the sink came from something. Anyways, and here's some, this is base, or not base game, or it's base game, this little bag of fertilizer that I got from Buy to Bug. But we are coming up on the end of this build. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give me a like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tell me whether or not you want more CC in these builds. This is actually kind of important. Maybe talk to me. I mean, you don't have to, but anyways. I hope I make it back from my flight. I hope my flight makes it back too, guys, because I'd like to keep making videos. But I hope you guys are all having a really great day. Feel free to like tell me if you've used this pack as well, because I'm super curious. I know a lot of you guys probably have, but anyways, long rambly talk over. I will see you guys next week. Oh, psst, by the way, base cam reveal next week. What?